Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And a very warm welcome to Friday's edition of the DC Universe Daily. Your DC headlines today. Walter Hamada had greenlit a Batman Beyond animated movie. Shazam Fury of the Gods writer hints at a Superman reveal in the movie. And James Gunn also hints about The Brave and the Bold, the brand new Batman movie, being more like Star Wars than the MCU. So let's talk about this revelation that Walter Hamada had greenlit a Batman Beyond animated movie. So let's talk about Batgirl first to give this situation some clarity, because that was also under the premise of the Hamada-verse. So Batgirl was going to be a Batman Beyond type of live-action movie. But Batgirl was going to be the character to take the mantle from Michael Keaton's Batman. So now we're hearing, as well as that, Walter Hamada had greenlit a Batman Beyond animated movie, which would have been awesome and exciting, and all the DC nerds, including me, would have loved it. Now, some sites are trying to say they don't know if this animated Batman Beyond project is still happening. I believe it is not happening. Don't believe anyone who tells you it is happening. Walter Hamada has gone, and his vision for DC has gone with it, and that is a big shame. Now, the Shazam Fury of the Gods writer has hinted at a Superman reveal. What he said was this. He spoke about the end of the first Shazam movie and how we see the bottom half of Superman, but we don't see his face. So he was saying, while I was writing this, how about if we do a reveal of Superman's above part, basically, his face. So that's what he said. So I don't know if this was something that they were going to do and didn't do, or if we're actually going to see a Superman reveal. Basically, he's hinting about continuing Shazam Fury of the Gods, where the first Shazam ended. So will this happen? Will we get a Superman face reveal in Shazam Fury of the Gods? I sincerely doubt it. This is one film I haven't seen a test screening for. I know a lot about the movie. I know lots of spoilers on the movie, but I've heard nothing about a Superman reveal. So how could this work if this is actually a thing? Well, we either get a face reveal of Henry Cavill's Superman. Now, of course, this sounds like really, really unlikely, and clearly this kind of talk is trying to get people to cinemas because they know the projections for the domestic opening weekend box office for Shazam Fury of the Gods are very, very low and very, very bad. Now, it's a bit like Ant-Man. Now, everyone's getting a bit, oh my God, Ant-Man's got bad box office. But if you think about it, the first Ant-Man didn't do that well. The second Ant-Man film, I think, is done maybe a little bit better, a little bit worse, whatever. But, you know, Feige and Marvel Studios would never have expected any Ant-Man film to do that well. So it's not that big a deal for them, you know, at this moment in time. Now, you know, WB, Warner Brothers Discovery, need to raise $3 billion. They need all the money they can get. But they knew damn well that this movie, you know, this movie's opening, domestic opening, would be really, really low. Now, this movie is going to be available in China. So I think this movie potentially could still, you know, have a good all-round, you know, global box office when everything is said and done. A better box office than Black Adam. So yes, a lower box office in America isn't what they want, but, you know, Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav were very well aware that this was the situation with this film. There's nothing they can do about it. This is not part of their new plan. It's it's just a movie. It's a DC movie. Go and enjoy it if you want to. Don't go and watch it if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. I plan on going to see Shazam Fury of the Gods. But I would be absolutely stoked if we got a Henry Cavill Superman reveal. I was kind of confident months ago that Henry Cavill was in this movie. I don't know what to think about this or what to tell you about this, but there were reports last year, early last year, that Cavill was in fact in Shazam Fury of the Gods. Now, David F. Sandberg tried to calm the rumours down and say, listen, I don't want to tempt fate after the scheduling issues from the first Shazam movie. They used the body double because Henry's schedule wasn't free. He was doing other stuff. Now, I believe it was a mistake to use a body double, but bringing Henry Cavill back and doing a reveal and continuing that film straight from how the first film ended would be very important and would fix that problem that's mocked by a lot of people, including the Snyder fans who like to push their fake propaganda, don't they? The problem is Freddie Freeman's arc in the first Shazam led to that moment. Now, what I would have done is use Gal, use Jason Momoa, use Ezra Miller's Flash, anyone, just to have someone there. Because if you can't use Henry, you don't use Henry. If you don't want, they didn't even know if they were going to continue with Henry at that point. You make a decision, you recast, and you do a face reveal, and it's a brand new Superman. And it works right. What you don't do is do that body double thing. Now, David F. Sandberg's made a joke of it. He's a guy with a great sense of humour. I get it. I don't think that was David F. Sandberg's decision to use the body double. Obviously, there's people above him. But yeah, I think the body double was definitely a mistake. I think there's a 70% chance that we may actually get a Superman reveal. But it'll be interesting, won't it? Is it going to be Henry Cavill or is it going to be someone else? That will be insane. Is this going to happen? Look, anything's possible here. But even though there were rumours about Henry being in this movie, we don't know if he's going to be cut from this movie. If he was originally in this movie, I don't think even if Henry is in this movie, that he had a big part to play in this movie. But of course, there's a possibility that we do get this Superman face reveal in Shazam Fury of the Gods. And I say, inject it into my fucking veins. Give him some kind of farewell, because it's not fair on Henry Cavill's Superman fans, and it's not fair on Henry Cavill himself. Because after all said and done, whether you agree with the direction they took his Superman on, he was a great Superman. Just like Ben Affleck is a great Batman. The actors did a great job despite all the issues with it. So that's what the writer of Shazam Fury of the Gods is saying, crossing my fingers that it's true. I'll let you know in my spoiler review. Can't wait to get into that with all of you lot. It's going to be very, very exciting. It's always exciting building up to the release of a DC movie. And your final headline today is James Gunn has said that the Batman Brave and the Bold movie is more like Star Wars than it is the MCU. What could he mean about this? So clearly I don't think that Batman is going to go to space and have some kind of space adventure. But who fucking knows? In fact, if they did that, which I'm not saying they will, but Batman has been to space before in the comics and in animation. So anything's possible here. What would be really good about this is that this would kind of make it really, really dramatically different to what Matt Reeves is doing with his Batman universe. It will be outer-worldly. It will be like kind of fantasy-based. Some people would complain about Batman being in space, but I doubt that's what they're doing. So what does he mean? It's more like Star Wars than the MCU. I believe he's talking about probably the Skywalker saga and the family element of the Brave and the Bold story. He's already hinted that he's going to build out the Batman family. We know that Damian Wayne will be his Robin in this movie as well. So maybe Damian Wayne is kind of a Luke Skywalker kind of figure. So it's going to be very, very interesting what they're doing. But yes, it really does intrigue me that he said that Brave and the Bold will be more like Star Wars than the MCU. Look, I don't want my DC to be anything like Marvel. Now, I think Marvel started off on a great course with phase 1 and phase 2. A lot of phase 3 is pretty good, but they started going down the line that they went. They started to make an entertaining, bland product, and also they went down this extremist kind of extreme left kind of direction, insulting male fans. You know, male fans are the, you know, you get more males going to see superhero content than females. Of course, everyone should be able to go and see whatever the fuck they want. That's not the point. But you don't bite the hand that feeds you. At the end of the day, everyone, I was just watching Absolute Justice, the Smallville movie event written by the great, iconic Jeff Johns. Don't care if you hate him or not. I think he's a talented comic book writer. When you watch that movie event from Smallville, Smallville did a better job than the DCEU did at creating a DC franchise. And Absolute Justice absolutely proves that. How did a show with a minimal budget do a better job at putting a DC franchise together with a pre-Superman story? Smallville created a DC franchise and did a better job than the DCEU did, because it's all about your leader. It's all about who's leading something. Whether you've got a football team, you're only as good as the coach. And, you know, Alfred Goff and Miles Miller were running Smallville. They created Smallville and they brought great people on. And, you know, just watching Absolute Justice again just shows me what a great job they did. But how were they able to achieve something that the DCEU couldn't do with, like, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars behind them? Because it's not about money. Of course, the effects in Smallville are a TV budget effects, and they're not as good as the stuff that Snyder did. I'm not claiming that. It's not about effects. It's about the story you tell, how you put something together, and if it resonates emotionally for you. Well, every time I watch Absolute Justice, my heart flutters. I want to cry in the emotional scenes. Something else about Absolute Justice, Jeff Johns did a better job, you know, kind of portraying the Justice Society of America than The Rock and his people did in representing a couple of Justice Society members in Black Adam. And that tells you everything you need to know. This has been Friday's edition of the DC Universe Daily with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you again in the next video. Until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.